The 2012 Fiat Abarth made me feel like I was driving a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes. The car looked hot, in black with red accents, sort of like those high-heeled shoes that are about the same price and size as this car. While the base model of the Fiat 500 is around $16,000, this tuner version of the Italian microcar stickered out to a little over 26 grand. The extra 10 grand gives you the aforementioned two-tone color scheme and a turbocharged power plant. The 1.4-liter 16-valve inline four-cylinder engine generates 160 horsepower. The 5-speed manual transmission is the only choice. I kept looking for 6th gear, but luckily noticed that the 6 was actually an R, and, well, who wants to make that mistake on the New Jersey Turnpike? Speaking of the New Jersey Turnpike, I had no trouble keeping up with traffic and even passing when I wanted to or needed to. But I don't know if I would really call this a performance car, even with a 0 to 60 time of 6.8 seconds, according to Motor Trend. While the Abarth felt quick off the line, I really didn't feel that effortless power at the higher range, between about 50 and 70 miles an hour. I thought turbo lag was a thing of the past, but I guess I was wrong. But it's in the city that this car really shines. Not only does it stand out from the crowd, it can also fit in the most crowded parking lots and can parallel park in spots that are sure to give normal-sized cars what New Yorkers call bumper rash. But back to the Fiat 500 Abarth. It's not an acronym. Abarth is a racing company started by Italian-Austrian automotive enthusiast Carlo Abarth in Turin in 1949. It's an in-house tuner division similar to Mini's John Cooper Works, BMW's M-Class, or Mercedes-AMG. The current head of Fiat North America says the Abarth is like a double shot of espresso straight to your veins. He says that with its, quote, wicked attitude, the Fiat Abarth rewards adrenaline fans who no longer need to pay 6 figures to feel the rush of true Italian performance. In case you were wondering, the Fiat 500 Abarth is 114.4 inches long and 64.1 inches wide. That's about 2 inches shorter and 2 inches narrower than the standard Mini Cooper. But the Fiat is more than 3 inches taller, and I must say that at 6'1" I had plenty of headroom in the Abarth. While some reports put the Mini JCW about a second faster than the Abarth, it's also about $5,000 more, depending upon how you option each car. I also really enjoyed the interior flair of the Abarth. The yellow and black Scorpion badge made me feel like I was driving a poor man's Ferrari. The fit and finish of the Abarth seemed good, with the exception of the navigation system that's supposed to live in the glove box until you need it and then plug it into the dash. Aside from seeming like an afterthought that yells "steal me," I was never able to get it to power up. While the steering wheel of the Abarth tilts, it does not telescope. Some people complain that the lack of a telescoping steering column made it hard for them to find a comfortable seating position. That's a really important consideration if more than one person is going to be driving the Fiat. Make sure that both of you test drive it before you buy it, because if one of you is uncomfortable driving it, that person will make your road trip in this pillbox-sized car a headache that can only be cured by a shot of Dilaudid or a restraining order. But back to my metaphor about those high-heeled shoes. They're not meant for inclement weather, and I would have to say the same thing about the Fiat Abarth. A summer rainstorm on the Garden State Parkway left me in a state of pucker. I figured that the tiny Fiat might get blown around on a highway in a storm, but that wasn't what caused my gastric grief. I never felt confident the 17-inch wheels had a firm grasp of where I did and did not want to go. That's the opposite of my experience in various Mini models, which seem planted to the road in all types of weather and at all speeds. The nicest way I can put it is that the Abarth is a fair weather friend. One of the Abarth's more endearing charms is that although it's a performance car, it's not a heavy drinker. The EPA estimates 28 miles per gallon in the city and 34 on the highway, but the gas tank only holds slightly more than my bladder. I know it's to save weight and space, but 10.5 gallons seems awfully small to me, especially when the low fuel light came on when I was still about 15 miles from home. Speaking of far away, the single USB input for your iPhone is in the glove box, which is good for security, but it also makes it really easy to leave your phone in the car when you go into work or into a restaurant. Even though this is a microcar, it's still a long reach to plug anything into the USB while driving. The stainless steel door handles on the inside of the car looked and felt really cool. You push them in to lock the doors and pull on them to open. One caution for parents of fidgety kids or friends of designated drivers: if the passenger confuses the push to lock for the pull to unlock, the door will fly open. That's yet another reason to make sure everyone, including your inebriated friend who needs a ride home before he does a technical yawn, wears a seatbelt. Also on the topic of safety, the so-called spotter mirror, which is a convex bubble on the outer edge of the driver's wing mirror, was actually quite useful. Even though I turned my head to double check before changing lanes, the B-pillars of this A-segment car are rather thick, and when combined with a headrest, create a significant blind spot. The Fiat Abarth is assembled in Toluca, Mexico. The engine is American and the transmission is Italian. The base price for the 2012 Abarth is $22,000. Options on our test car included leather-trimmed high-back seats, climate control, the TomTom that didn't work, 17-inch forged aluminum black wheels, and Sirius satellite radio with a 1-year subscription. The price as tested was $26,200. I'm Grant Winter reporting for Real World Test Drive.